Little Nightmares is a 2017 adventure game with a Tim Burton twist in its overall design. Referred to by many as a hide-and-seek game, you quietly navigate through a large industrial island infested with these giant human-like monsters. The game, developed by Tarsier Studios of Bandai Namco Entertainment, released with overall positive reviews, and its horror theme, along with interesting gameplay, sprouted much popularity in the gaming community. However, nothing is flawless, and Little Nightmares is not an exception. There are minor parts of the game's overall design that tend to cause issue with immersion, and may even lead to frustration with the game as well. One example of a principle the game follows poorly is constraint. In Little Nightmares, you play the role as Six, a small child wearing a yellow raincoat as she travels through the large depths of the island. Its camera creates something of a 2D inspired angle, like you the player are taking a peek into rooms of a large dollhouse. While this design is definitely interesting and helps with the feeling of you being small in this world, the transition to small angles to show events or where you need to go tends to have the opposite effect. Many times I recall looking at the vast environment and I suddenly realize I don't know what angle my character is moving to. Thus, in moments where I must walk on things like small pipes or even planks of wood, the awkward angle makes me fall to my death on numerous occasions. This issue tends to ruin the flow of the game as well, as when I am trying to immerse myself by admiring the look of the game, I'm simply disrupted when I watch my character suddenly falling to their death, which, over time, begins to become frustrating and really breaks the experience for me. Highlighting also tends to be somewhat of an issue at times. The overall style of the game is dark and gloomy, and the walls and structure all blend with grays, blacks, and dark tan colors. While this does do a great job with continuing the overall feeling that this is a mix of a horror game with an adventure game, it can be hard, however, to know where you are supposed to go, making it easy to oversee things or just miss objectives, which most likely means you have to go back and for hours blindly searching or dying countless times until you find out what you need to do. The game definitely isn't perfect, but that isn't to say that there are no good attributes to the game whatsoever. Little Nightmares does a great job following the von Restorff effect. Aside from the occasional distorted painting or oddly empty room, the overall look of the rooms are very normal, which helps the monsters roaming these rooms pop out much more. The human-like creatures are all large and distorted beings who just tower over your character. After playing Little Nightmares, it's hard to forget any single one of them, as they are all quite unique and genuinely terrifying in their own way. Another principle that Little Nightmares masters is Hicks' Law. Little Nightmares has fairly simple controls, from using a joystick to move around and right trigger to grab onto things. The camera, although it can lead to complications with gameplay, does the camera move it on its own for you, so those who struggle with the two joystick design of common controllers can play using only one. With such simple designs, it's easy to focus solely on the experience and not as much the controls, and it also makes it easier for people of many different audiences to play it and enjoy it as much as others. Overall, Little Nightmares is a wonderful addition to those who enjoy scary experiences in exploration. There are still its minor flaws, specifically with its camera, that do tend to cause issues involving immersion and cutting in between the person playing and dying countless times. But once the player overcomes these, it's not hard to get back into it and forgive the game for these issues. With Little Nightmares 2 coming along the way early next year, which promises to learn from its mistakes and improve the experience from the first one, people are highly anticipating a great experience, as am I.